Looks like I'm loosening the ABS sensor, little fastener. I'm loosening the looks like the brake line fastener that mounts to the steering knuckle. Moving the brake caliper out of the way. I'm hanging it by a bungee cord to prevent the brake line from being damaged. Now I'm taking out the axle nut, and there it is. That's the axle nut. If I can get it in frame. Now I'm taking out the brake caliper brackets. Brake calipers are out. Now I'm taking off the rotor. Now I'm taking out the upper strut bolts, lower strut bolt. I'm turning the steering knuckle to the left, getting the caliper out of the way again. Now I'm taking out that cotter pin from the lower spindle, the ball joint. So I'm trying to. And there's the
cotter pin.
The cotter pin. What's left of it. Now I'm using a 17 millimeter to get out the castle nut for the lower ball joint. I'm hitting the lower control arm with a hammer to separate the ball joint from the lower control arm. Hitting it again with a sledgehammer. And using a pry bar to separate the lower control arm from
there you go. Nice.
I'm using a pry bar to separate the two. And it's free. It's the easiest way to do it with a hammer. Now I'm taking out the upper strut bolts again. I'm pushing the axle through, where it splines with the steering knuckle. I'm trying to get the axle out from the steering knuckle. I got the ball joint out. Now the steering knuckle is free. Now I'm using a pry bar and leverage to try to turn the hub assembly. It was taking a great deal of effort to spin that because the bearing was bad. There's the ball joint that I replaced a month before. So I took it to a shop where they pressed out the old bearing and pressed in a new one, and now it spins perfectly. So here I am getting ready to put the car back together. The installation is pretty much the reverse of removal. Push the axle back to the steering knuckle.
There it is. There you go.
Axle nut back on, rotor back on. Caliper bracket, caliper bracket bolts, brake pads, brake caliper, ABS sensor, ball joint, castle nut, torquing it down, cotter pin, and we're done.